It's really affecting me right now. You know, it's something that you never thought would come to an end. You know, I played so long that, you know, you just thought it would keep going on forever, keep going on forever, and keep going on forever, and keep going on forever, and would keep going on forever, and would keep going on forever, and keep going on forever, and keep going on forever.
To say that it seems just like yesterday that Darrell Bevell threw his first Badger touchdown pass may be a bit of a stretch. Fact is, Bevell has started all but 3 games since his 1992 arrival in Madison, a factor that has allowed him to break single game, season, and career school passing records in almost every quarterback category, including passing yards, completions, completion percentage, wins, touchdowns, efficiency, and total offense.
I just feel that I can walk out of here with my head held high and know that I gave everything for, you know, the University of Wisconsin, and, you know, I laid it all on the line every time I went out there, and, you know, I was fortunate enough to get some records, and, you know, I hope some of them stand for a long time.
Behind his trademark blonde flat top and record-setting right arm, the Badgers appeared in and won back-to-back bowl games, including '93's Rose Bowl. This Saturday, Darrell Bevell leaves a legacy by which future Badger quarterbacks will all be measured.
You know, there's a lot of people that wish they were in my shoes. Probably people think they could do better in my shoes, but, you know, I'm very fortunate that I'm here.
It's a natural progression that's been going on for decades.
My dad took me to a race down there at Milwaukee Mile.
From the time they're old enough to roll a tire across the garage or tall enough to see over the dash, racing is in their blood. And when the time is right, the torch is passed.
I had an extra late model sitting around, and I talked over with him and with the wife, and he said, yeah, let me try that. So he got right in the late model and went to Slinger and ended up rookie of the year, his first year out.
They were there all the time. So it just all of a sudden arrived, and they wanted to try it, and we said okay.
For Jerry Wood and Al Schill Sr., having their sons on the same track with speeds upwards of 120 miles an hour might force a few extra gray hairs. But in this case, it's the kids that are looking out for the old man.
Worrying about him on the track if he's okay, like if there's an accident. Last week there was an accident where we were both side by side. I had the lane to get around. He ended up getting around too, but I was worried there.
It's real scary. He's got hurt real bad, and it gets you real nervous when you see your dad and you can know that he can get hurt real easily out there.
It's a fact of racing that a side-by-side father-son situation can and does happen. And it's those 100-mile-an-hour moments where blood is thicker than racing fuel.
I'm racing alongside of him that I know I'm safe, you know, or another guy you're racing against, you're not too sure if he's going to drift up or slide you up. But when he's racing against it, I know I don't have nothing to worry about.
I'd just be happy to finish second to my dad any day.
From Madison International, Rob Hudson, 15 Sports at 10.
Keep moving.
1-2. 1-2.
1. Good. 1. Nice, Marvin, nice. Yeah, nice. Good idea. Get out of there, Tony. Get out of there, Tony. Come on, sit out there.
1-2.
Ball two, a little short.
For 34 years, Tony Newsback has called him as he sees him.
Save.
From high school to home talent, this man in blue has seen a few.
Strike. After one game, the guy said to me, he said, boy, you guys called a bad game. So I said, you know, you're the first guy to ever call me on this. I said, you could have my camp, you could umpire next week. In a few minutes, he ran back. He said, I'm very sorry. I didn't want to tell you that, but you did call a good game. Okay, man up.
Tonight, after more than 3 decades of calling the plays, it's time for Newsback to call it quits. How do you want to be remembered?
As a friendly umpire and enjoy the crowd, and I'm hoping they appreciate all the service I did to the program.
Tony's talents are well known among his peers. His longevity speaks for that. But he's also taught a few lessons about the game that you can't look up in any rule book.
Tony's taught me a lot. I've learned how to make the game fun for the people that are umpiring and for the people that are playing. I've never worked with a man who's had so much fun doing a game. It's just a pleasure to come to work with him every night.
You never get old umpiring because you got other people always complaining, and that's part of the game, I guess. That's what kept me very young, by participating in this sport.
In Madison, Rob Hudson, 15 Sports at 10.
Slow up, you are okay.
Home, not so sweet for Steve Stricker. The Edgerton native shoots 34-38 for a 1 par 72. A case of opening day jitters in front of the home state crowd.
I think I get in the way of myself here because I definitely don't act this way or feel this way at other tournaments. You know, I feel like I want to perform well here more than anything else.
State Open champ Eddie Teresa firing a 1 par 70. Ditto that for Andy North. Both guys just having fun playing the game.
For me, it's kind of the culmination of a good season and just have fun.
Hit a lot of decent shots, not a lot of great shots, but got on the green and managed to never really hit it close enough to the hole. I had 25 and 30, 40 like the last putt, just nothing close enough.
Overall, not a bad opening round for the local players here in front of the big-time gallery, although it wasn't necessarily the local talent people came to see. Mr. Grip It and Rip It himself, John Daly, exciting the crowd with his 4 par 67. That's good enough to put him in a 3-way tie for second. The British Open champ's appearance has first-day GMO attendance up by an estimated 33%.
This is pretty nice. This is really nice. Tom Strong deserves it, all the work he's done for this tournament, and bless his heart, he's been trying to get me up here, you know, for about the last 4 years, and my schedule just hasn't been able to permit me to do it. And he works real hard, and it's just great to see all the people out.
At the GMO, Rob Hudson, 15 Sports at 6.
To center, here comes Williams, beats the D. Breeze, go first. Shoots and scores.
The goal as a team all year, I keep saying that, is to get to Milwaukee, and we've worked extremely hard to do it. We've kind of had to fight an uphill battle, but we're playing our best hockey at the right time of the year.
Carter centers it. Shot at a goal by Howard. Here's Sanderson still with the puck. He ties the game.
We were down a couple goals. The third period is our best period, as the last month and a half has proven. And if we can just keep that going, you know, everything's going to be great. And we're looking forward to the rest of the games.
We proved it to ourselves, and that's the only people we ever had to prove it to. And you know, the 21 guys in that locker room are the ones who know it, and they're the ones who believe it, and that's all that matters right now.
Back ahead to Eric Rasmussen. They fired in front. A point-blank shot by Bobby Duff. Prowling out a treble again. They go down low. Rasmussen, the bound and a shot to goal. Perfect play is over. Williams centering it, deflected, treble to play. Rebound in front of goal. Carter centers it. Shot at a goal by Howard. And now Cut down the angle, DeBus did. Here's Sanderson still with the puck. He ties the game. And rush to center. Here comes Williams. Beats the D. Shoots and scores.
The Packers went through their final walkthrough this afternoon in preparation for tomorrow's clash with the Cowboys. And if Mike Holmgren's mood is any reflection on the team, the Packers are loose. Holmgren led the team bus from their Arlington hotel to Texas Stadium on a pack of Harleys. Do that one more time. 3, 2, 1. The Packers went through their final walkthrough this afternoon in preparation for tomorrow's NFC Championship game clash with the Cowboys. And if Mike Holmgren's mood is any reflection on the team, the Packers are loose. Holmgren led the team bus from their Arlington hotel to Texas Stadium this afternoon with a pack of Harleys.
2-yard line. Brought down by Jordan. Touchdown, Green Bay, pass complete to number 87, Robert Brooks.
And 3, 2, 1. A very wild, physical, and emotional first half ends with the Packers trailing by 7. Whatever Mike Holmgren told his team in the locker room seemed to work as the Packers came out on fire after the break. A very wild, physical, and emotional first half ends with the Packers trailing by 7. Whatever Mike Holmgren told his team at the break seemed to work as the Packers came out on fire in the second half. 2-1. A very wild, physical, and emotional first half ends with the Packers trailing by 7. Whatever Mike Holmgren told his team seemed to work as the Packers came out on fire after the break. So whenever you're in Dallas at Irving Stadium, you got to enjoy the cheerleaders. I mean, hey, after all, I am a red-blooded American male.
Tony Tolbert with yet another sack. Off with Favre. Brings on 4th down and 38 from their 15. Super Bowl title. Coming up shortly with the presentation. Team here today. Terry Bradshaw will be making that presentation to the Dallas Cowboys who are gathered in the area near the goal line at the south end of the field. The NFC champion receives prominent possession of the George S. Hallis Trophy named in honor of the former owner, coach, and player of the Chicago Bears and one of the founders of the National Football League. The executive producer for Dallas Cowboy Game Day is Bill Lively. Thanks to Sim White, Roger Bell, Rick Ferguson, Keith Taylor for their help in the PA.
Greetings from Dallas, Texas. What started off as a slow trickle of fans on Thursday evening turned out to be a steady rush by Friday afternoon. Packer backers making the trek from the frozen Northland no matter what the cost. Okay, here we go.
It's good unless you want to.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1. So that's it for now. Coming up in sports, we'll hear from the Packers and how they feel about playing in Dallas for the 7th time in just over 2 years. Good evening from downtown Dallas. Well, the Packers are here. They arrived about 6:30 tonight, just in time for the big NFC Championship game news conference. Now, earlier tonight, we talked about the Packer fans when they arrived and touched on the confident level of the Cowpoke fans as we approach the kickoff for this Sunday's game. Well, tonight we hit the town in Big D looking for some of those confident Cowpoke fans, and this is what we found.
This one's kaput.
Oh, you have to put a new.
Yeah.
Hi. Get greased up. Getting greased up. see close-up.
Make sure nobody walks in the background that shouldn't.
Sir.
Stay right here. Yes, sir. 104. Right here we go.
Heavy eight.
All right. Heavy eight, not a 9.
Okay, it's a sexy pan up, Steve.
You bet. He's a master.
I tell you what, it's not even Christmas time yet, and people are already talking about how bored they are. Maybe getting the winter blahs here in Wisconsin. No need to be. We're going to talk about snowboarding, the coolest way to add some heat to these long Wisconsin winter days.
It's something that's completely different than anything that's been seen before. It's surfing, but on snow. It's the water thing, but on frozen water.
That's what snowboarding is. You do what you want. You don't have a coach telling you, hey, you're going out, you got to do this, you know, you got to beat this guy, because you don't have to. You can go out and carve if you want. You can go do a backflip off a jump if you want. You can do anything you want to. There's no cops to stop you or anything. Snowboarding is not a crime.
Just coming out, learning how to to learn the basics of the board. That's the hardest thing. Learning how to fall, because it's not like skiing. You're strapped into it, and once you're into the board, you're permanently into it. So when you fall, the board goes with you. So that's the hardest thing, is just getting used to the board, getting used to turning, and how it feels on you.
I used to skateboard all the time in high school, and I always down and skied, and the snowboard came out. I got one right away. Just got into it and took off from there, and ever since then, every year I come back out and just more and more boards. And skiing, you can just go straight. You can't ride backwards. A board, you can ride straight, switch stance, which is backwards or fakie. You can hit a jump, do a 180 or do a 360, land forward or back, and you know that you can ride out of it. Doesn't matter which way you land, you're not restricted in any way. And like you said, you have lots of freedom out here. Go whatever you want, do whatever you want, whatever you feel like doing that day, you can do it.
What a rush. From Tyrol Basin, I'm Rob Hudson, Wisconsin Sports Sunday. To do that one again. Nearly every Saturday for the past 3 seasons, Tarek Saleh has been there. His position says defensive end, but it's in the opponent's offensive backfield where this senior Badger spends the majority of his time. It's almost certain that if you were to take an informal poll of Big Ten quarterbacks, running backs, and tight ends, number 42 would top everyone's list for the most feared defender in the conference. In 3 years, Saleh has posted numbers that put him in position to set school records in sacks, sack yardage, and tackles for losses. For opposing teams, let this serve as a warning. Saleh looks for even bigger things during his senior campaign.
Well, I just want to improve on last year, and whether that means, getting those sacks or TFLs or whatever it takes, that's my goals, to improve, and I think things are going to work out well. I've been, practicing every day, real hard, and how many sacks I get is, up in the air. That doesn't matter. I think the main point is that we win.
Saleh sheds compliments faster than he does offensive linemen, directing most of the credit to Badger assistant coach John Palermo. While some players may be intimidated by Palermo's military-like coaching style, Saleh says it's John Palermo that has brought him to the level he's at today.
When he yells, he's not yelling, he's coaching, and he's making positive points. He does everything with purpose. He's not putting on a show for anybody. He's coaching you with a purpose, and he wants you to be prepared to win, to go out there and play. And I think he does that, and he's been really good to me and really taught me a lot of things, and I really appreciate that, and I got to thank him.
I like to think that Tarek and I have a special relationship. I had the opportunity to recruit him. I'm close with the family. It's the kind of situation where you can always get on the football field if you take good care of them off the football field, and I like to think that's the kind of relationship that we have.
At 6'2", 240 pounds, Tarek Saleh is regarded as relatively small for Big Ten defensive end standards. But a look at last year's statistical leaders in the conference, you'll find Saleh's name leading the way in both tackles for losses and quarterback sacks. So the question is, if Saleh's so small, how does he do it?
A lot of it's speed and using your hands and feet and face and hands and all that. You know, all the techniques that Coach Palermo tries to teach to us.
He's just a tough, physical player. He's the kind of player that thrives on being physical. The more you smack him, the tougher he gets, and I think that's how he survives. He loves the game of football.
The irony in Saleh's name is that Tarek is Arabic, meaning one who comes knocking. Last season, Saleh's knocking opened the door for 12 quarterback sacks. But Saleh is more proud of the historical aspect of his heritage.
It comes from Tarek bin Ziyad, who conquered the Rock of Gibraltar in Spain. We conquered Coach Alvarez's country, you know. I always joke around with him, but he contends that they never got up north, so. But I don't know, that's still up in the air. He tries to get literature on it, but I think that's from the Spanish library. It's not from the Arab library. We'll find out about it.
It would be almost fruitless to spend the next 2 minutes explaining the rules and how-to of rugby. The speed, grace, and strategy could be discussed for hours. Instead, it's the why question that must be asked.
There's no other sport like it. There's no other sport where you can work so hard and play so hard with the same amount of guys, where you can bleed and sweat with them all week long and on the weekend and get so much satisfaction from it.
I'm a pussycat. I work behind a desk. I get all tense during the week. It's nice to come out and pick on guys my own size so I can be a pussycat the rest of the week.
Europe's top rugby league is the equivalent of our NFL here in America. Fans will jam stadiums about the same size as Camp Randall or Lambeau Field every weekend all over Europe to watch their team play. Now, the biggest difference between the NFL players and rugby players is the rugby players don't get paid. The game was invented in the 1890s by a schoolboy in the town of Rugby, England. During a game of soccer, the boy became frustrated, picking up the ball and running with it. For the physical athlete, the attraction to rugby is obvious.
You know, it gets a little frustrating being behind the desk or doing any job you have to do all week, you know, and coming out and being a kid again on the weekends is just fantastic, you know.
People that we get to meet all over the country and all over the world, and you just get to be friends with a variety of people that you just run into all the time, and whenever you go to visit them, you know, you're always their friend, and when they come to visit you, you know, they always know they have a friend in whatever town you go to that has a club, and it really it's nice camaraderie that we can run into all over the country and all over the world, in fact.
It's good for life. It's good for family. That's my reward.
With this week's Alternative Sports, Rob Hudson, Wisconsin Sports Sunday.
Nicely done, Red! Outstanding!
It's a sport where broken bones, teeth, bruises, and cuts are just part of the job description. In 8 NHL seasons, Tony Granato has received and delivered his share of abuse. But a collision with the boards in Hartford last January dealt Granato a blow that left him not only fighting for his career, it nearly cost him his life.
It was a real hard injury to go through. I think as a hockey player, you know you're going to have some bumps and bruises and cuts, and you know, but you never think you're going to have anything as serious as I had.
The collision triggered bleeding from an abnormal cluster of blood vessels on the left side of Granato's temporal lobe. At first, it was just headaches that bothered him, but memory loss soon followed. And that's when the former Badger knew something was seriously wrong.
The memory loss is what really made us push the panic button, and that's when we decided to go to the hospital, and we knew something was more wrong than a normal headache, and that's what I remember about it.
In February, Granato underwent surgery to remove the damaged vessels. A successful procedure has given Tony another chance at the NHL.
I didn't expect that I'd ever get this opportunity when I went through the surgery. And basically, when I was released from the hospital, the doctors that I saw at that point said, you know, there's a good possibility you're going to be able to come back and play hockey. And at that point, I didn't think anything about it. All I was worried about, like you said, was getting home to see the kids and playing with the kids again every day.
Convinced of Granato's recovery, the San Jose Sharks signed him to a free agent contract this summer, where he'll join former Badger Chris Tansel.
I think he's exhausted every avenue, and you know, we obviously were concerned for him, but at the same time, we never doubted his ability to come back. I think he's inspirational in his work ethic and that. So I think we're all excited that he's able to get back on the ice, and you know, that's where he belongs.
While in Los Angeles, Granato teamed with another former Badger, Gary Shuchuk. Shuey knows firsthand about Tony's competitive spirit and pondered what may happen in their first on-ice encounter.
I'll put it this way, I'll let Tony hit me first, and if I get up, and if I see 21, then I know he's all right, then I'll go after Tony.
When they take something away from you that you love to do so much, you learn to appreciate it that much more. And I still feel good about it, and physically I feel great, and I haven't had any problems, so I'm looking forward to the start of the season.
With this week's Minding the Net, I'm Rob Hudson, Wisconsin Sports Sunday.
Behind the net, looks to stuff it in. The save by Marc Behrend.
For most of his adult life, Marc Behrend has been in and enjoyed the heat of battle.
Right on in front. A save by Behrend.
The former Badger is one of the best goaltenders to ever don the cardinal and white for the University of Wisconsin. 2 NCAA titles, a 1984 Olympics, and a 4-year NHL career will back that argument. Now, 9 years after facing his last red-hot blast from the blue line, Behrend still makes his living in the line of fire as a firefighter for the Madison Fire Department.
For me, that's kind of made my career change a little easier, because there is still that team concept, and you do develop the close friendships and whatnot on the job, and so I think that's made my transition a little easier too, from finishing up playing hockey and going into this profession.
Mark and his wife Sarah have 2 children, and when Bear isn't chasing fires, it's a full-time job playing Mr. Mom that keeps this former Badger busy.
I've been out of hockey now. This will be my 9th season, so haven't really been doing too much in that vein anymore, but just raising some kids and doing that type of thing, family.
A defining moment in Behrend's career came at the '84 Olympics in Sarajevo. Behrend and Team USA had the unenviable task of following the 1980 gold medal-winning Miracle on Ice team of Lake Placid. Behrend's '84 Olympians failed to make the medal round.
After the Olympics was over, I kind of realized how hard it would have been, if we would have even to get into a medal round, the competition. I guess after playing in '84 in the Olympics, in the tournament, just made me realize just how, what a miracle it was in '80 to put together a group of 20, college kids and actually compete and win a gold medal.
Out of Madison, Wisconsin, one of those.
A 4-year career with the Winnipeg Jets followed, but the daily pressures of life in the NHL made Behrend realize that a life in the line of fire had nothing to do with hockey.
I knew it was time, and I'm glad I got out at the time I did. I put in 4 years, and like I say, it was fun, but it was time. And I think every player knows that, when it is. And
with this week's Where Are They Now? I'm Rob Hudson, Wisconsin Sports Sunday. For decades, Madison was known nationally for its boxing. Now, 35 years after the sport was dropped by the university, Eric Morel is on the verge of bringing the sweet science back.
From boxing, that is nothing Madison. And I think I'm going to bring boxing back to Madison. I'm going to be the person. I'm going to be that person.
It was 4 years ago that Morel first came to Madison, leaving his home in San Juan, Puerto Rico, following the footsteps of his brother Henry, who was then a student at the UW. Though Eric will proudly wear the red, white, and blue of the United States, there's no question he hasn't forgotten his roots.
When I step into the ring in Atlanta, I'm going to have Puerto Rican flag in one glove and United States in another one. you know, because I want to let them know that I still love them. I still love my country, the place that I born in.
Morel is trained by former Badger boxer and coach Bob Lynch, who quickly recognized Eric's work ethic and wicked right hand.
I still just marvel at it, and I've caught probably 100,000 of those right hands of his in a boxing pad over the 4 years he's been with me, and I still just marvel each time when he cracks. He hits harder than most men up to 50 to 75 pounds bigger than him.
I put a picture on my brains, you know, on my head, and knocking everybody out, boom, knocking them out. And I think hopefully I'm gonna win the gold medal. I'm gonna stop everybody. I'm gonna stop them. The first, second, or third round, I'm gonna stop everybody.
Eric Morel's right may be tough, but it's a knockout mental attitude that may be the weapon that wins him the gold.
I'm so positive and I'm so confident on what I'm gonna do, what I'm doing, that I think I'm gonna bring gold medal.
Rob Hudson, 15 Sports at 6.
Look alive, everybody. There you go. Thanks.
Great game, Brett. Thank you.
The way the other teams in the Central have kind of crumbled and cut their own throats, it's a matter of you guys now just playing for yourselves. You're not really getting chased by anyone. Is the priority more or less home field advantage than just winning the Central?
I think so. You know, we want to win the Central, and we want to get home field advantage. There's a lot of goals that we have set for ourselves, and we're on course to achieve them. But we've got to take them one at a time, and Kansas City's going to be very tough there at their place.
You know, the only thing we got on our minds right now is Kansas City, and that's the way we approach things all year long. And then that's the way you got to do it in this league. Once you start looking ahead to 3 or 4 games down the road, that's when you run into trouble. If we can take care of business, you know, one game at a time, we can control our own destiny, and you know, we'll see what happens after that.
Well, Craig, I think I'll play the role of Switzerland in this one between two superpowers here. I'm standing, of course, with Jeff Sauer of Wisconsin and Coach Doug Woog of Minnesota. Big game tonight. We'll start with you, Coach Woog. Your players, you really don't have to say a lot to these guys to get them fired up when you come to Dane County Coliseum.
Not a lot. They know what we're coming here for, and it's we know it's going to be an interesting, emotional battle, and it never ends. It's 60 minutes. You better go 60 minutes because you don't know what's going to happen in the 59th.
And yourself, it's got to be exciting for you coming off a 2-game suspension back behind the bench, I believe.
Oh,
sorry to bring up the source.
Yeah, right. I'm sure. I tell you what, I was the only guy in town that wanted to go to work on Monday, okay? Everybody else was, on Sunday night, they all wanted to take Monday off, but not me. So we're back at it, and, you know, those things happen, and we move on from here, and we're going to have a great series, and I'm sure Jeff's looking forward to it as much as we are.
We'll turn it over to Coach Sauer. Earlier in the week, you said it's a great time to be playing Minnesota. Explain what you meant.
Well, what I mean is any time you play Minnesota, it's a great time to play because this is what college hockey is all about. Get the opportunity to play against a good opponent, great rivalry, and all of those types of things. Doesn't matter whether we're playing in June or July or in the middle of November. That's what it's all about. This is hockey at its best.
And real quickly, a big weekend for you. You're going for another milestone. You can tie Badger Bob for most wins at Wisconsin.
Well, let's worry about the team getting the win. And the coaches, just as Doug will tell you, we just stand behind the bench and try and stay out of the way. And the guys are the ones that do it, and that's what it's all about.
All right, Coach Sauer, thanks for joining me. Coach Woog.
Yes.
Hey, I tell you don't need a lot of hype for this one. It's the Badgers and Gophers coming up from the Great Dane at 7:05. Craig?
All right, Rob, thanks very much. We'll have highlights and post-game reaction.
Brett, the team's off to a really quick start, and not just 3 wins, but 3 big wins. How do you feel about that?
Well, obviously I feel very excited about it, but we have a long ways to go. It is a good start, the best start that we've had since I've been here, and against some good football teams. So hopefully it's a sign of what's to come. I know it's not going to get any easier, but at least we know we can play with anyone.
115 points in 3 games. There's not much you can complain about the offense, but a funny thing this week, Mike Holmgren said he's got to complain about the offense. He's not happy. You guys are scoring too fast.
Well, I know going into Minnesota, I don't think we can feel too complacent right now because I don't even know if I've ever thrown a touchdown pass in Minnesota. So this is going to be a big test for us, and hopefully we can go out and score fast like he complains about.
I noticed a new thing from Brett Favre this year is the six-shooters. How did that come about? Why did that start?
Actually, I had a little bit of it last year. Leroy Butler, who was famous for starting things on our team, started this, and it's just another thing to get the fans involved and get people excited, and whatever I can do to make this whole team and this whole city and whole state get more involved and enjoying Green Bay football, I'll do.
We were chatting earlier, looking over your fan mail, and you said 4 or 5 years ago you were hard-pressed to get 3 letters a week. How has the Brett Favre changed from then, when you were taking a lot of heat for your problems on the field, and now you're the NFL MVP? You've come full circle. How do you deal with that? How do you adjust?
I think you just adjust with the times. I can remember when I was getting those 3 letters and was a little disappointed, and I knew where I wanted to be and what it was going to take to get there. And I feel like I'm there now, and I know I can go a little bit further. And I'd rather the fan mail be coming in groups like they're coming in now than the 3 letters a month that I was getting a long time ago. So I'm just going to continue to work hard and pursue something that hasn't been done here in a long time.
With the pressure on the team this year to go to the Super Bowl and all this and that, how do you find time to relax? I know you're a huge outdoorsman. In Wisconsin, fall means a lot of hunting, fishing coming up. Do you get a chance to get out and enjoy the outdoors anymore?
I do a little hunting. I'm not much of a fisherman. I like to play golf, and I'm going to get as much in until it gets cold. But that's about all the time I have. Most of my time is spent over at the Packer office or at home. And I do like to go home and just watch TV sometimes also.
You've never been ice fishing. You live in Green Bay and you haven't ever been out in a shanty.
It's too cold to go out there. And maybe one day just to see what it's like, but I don't see that in the future.
Okay, talk about this weekend's game with the Vikings, as you touched on before. You have yet to win up there. You have yet to throw a touchdown pass up there. How much added pressure is that for you? The way you guys are rolling, it doesn't seem like anyone can stop you.
We haven't played well up there. I mean, that's no secret to anyone, but hopefully times are changing. We're playing well right now, and this is a good test for me and for our football team against a great football team who's playing really good on defense. So, we're just going to go in there, and I don't think there's any added pressure. There's been pressure on us ever since I've been here to perform, and this is just another big test for us, and I'm excited about it.
Can we talk a little bit about the contract that you're working on right now? You said a lot of it is not only take care of yourself, but your family, some problems off the field. How do you remain focused on that with so much pressure on you trying to lead this team to victory, and then problems like that within the family too?
Well, I think problems that happen off the field are just a part of nature, and I've done a good job of dealing with adversity. And the one place I can go and get away from it all is on the football field. So I look forward to Sundays. I look forward to the week of practice and studying and doing those things, because that is my place to relax. And hopefully if we can continue to play the way we have been, then it'll make it easier and more enjoyable.
After all these seasons in Green Bay and the successes and failures you've had, are you still the same Brett Favre? Is it tough to keep your feet on the ground and remain that level-headedness that I'm still the same guy from Kiln, Mississippi?
Not at all. I have enough friends and family around me that keep me, on the ground. And I don't want to get to a point where people don't want to be around me. I just want to be myself. It's good enough as it is right now, just enjoying football and making it exciting for the people around me. And I just hope it stays that way.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Brett.
No problem.
You bet.
It's amazing what winning does, huh?
Wow.
A couple of years ago, I had to write my own fan mail.
That's what I wanted to ask you about.
It's funny, my first year ran, I'd get like 3 or 4 letters, a month. I followed you in college, one of those things. When it was in Atlanta.
Girlfriends from college.
Most of one of the people pissed off at me.
Parking ticket.
What's the bill?
What would they send it to your?
That's a good question. They must not want it to get paid if you're sending it. It's a little old.
This is true.
Speaking of predictions, Rob Hudson joins us now.
I got Super Bowl trivia anyway. I read today in Time, the Brett Favre edition, that of all New Orleans Super Bowls, this is the 8th. The average margin of victory is 23 points.
How about that?
23 points. So chances are it'll be a blowout.
We'll see.
I tell you what, though, all season long, the Packers have been heavy favorites, and that really hasn't changed for this Sunday's Super Bowl. The Pack is currently a 14-point favorite. Mike Holmgren has contested for the past month that no team in the NFL should be ever favored by more than a field goal. Holmgren says the same things that win games in the regular season will win Super Bowl 31.
Whoever executes the best, or if the ball bounces funny, whoever gets the most breaks wins the game. The same things that decide football games in the regular season will decide the Super Bowl. Turnovers, your kicking game, how well the quarterbacks handle the pressure situations, those things. And that doesn't change.
Pick them. It's straight up, because both teams have come a long way to get to this point. Both teams deserve a lot of respect for being here in itself alone. And for someone to, do that, I just think that's a slap in the face to both teams.
Now coming up tonight at 6, we're going to hear from Edgar Bennett and Dorsey Levens. What has been tabbed lately? The Packers' two-headed monster in the backfield. And it's really interesting, the backfield has been doing a lot of the work the past 6 weeks for the Packers. Now they move inside. They're running the ball a lot because of the cold weather. Are they going to stick with that, or are they going to go to the air, what pretty much got them here the first half of the season?
Interesting. Do they practice at all while they're here?
Oh, yeah, they're practicing 90-minute workouts every morning. Mike Holmgren's getting them up early in the morning for meetings, trying to keep them off Bourbon Street. I think it's working. I was out for dinner down there last night, and I saw a couple of the guys walking around, but that was very early. So, yeah. I mean, if I can get up that early, they can get up that early.
It's kind of like our executive producer trying to keep us up early, keep us very active, so we don't go down to Bourbon Street.
Cracking the whip.
All right, you stick around. We'll be back live for with more from the Big Easy.
Running than passing?
Well, what I think it's the heat, not the humidity, or is it the other way around? All I know is that it is warmer down here, and for the first time in over a month, the Packers will not have Mother Nature in their corner, and whether or not the controlled climate of the Superdome is going to be a factor Sunday remains to be seen. But what I do know is the Packers will need that same running game that propelled them through the playoffs if they're hoping to bring home a win against the Patriots in Super Bowl 31. It's been tabbed as the two-headed monster. The 1-2 combination punch of Edgar Bennett and Dorsey Levens has averaged 151 yards over the past 6 games. And all of a sudden, Mike Holmgren's West Coast offense has doubled its fun by resurrecting the run.
Yeah, I give credit to our offensive linemen. They've done a great job. They've given us opportunity to run. And William Henderson has just been going in there, setting the tone, blowing up linebackers. So with those two, the William Henderson and offensive line, I think they've given us the opportunity to run.
From day one, they said that's how it was going to be. I think early on in the season, we struggled a little bit, but as of late, we really come on.
According to Holmgren, the resurgent running attack should be credited to Mother Nature. Brett Favre's record in temperatures under 35 degrees may be 18-0, but statistics show the ground attack has carried much of the load.
What it did, it forced me to call more runs than maybe I normally would, and our runners and our offensive line did a great job with that. So I would like that type of productivity on Sunday, no question about it.
After the regular season, Bennett began a self-imposed media boycott when he felt writers were trying to unfairly portray him as unhappy when Levens' playing time increased. But thanks to a Super Bowl berth and some sound advice from his best friend, the silence has ended.
Well, I stopped talking to the media because it was too much. They were trying to start too much controversy between Dorsey and myself. And at the time we were on a Super Bowl run, we don't need that controversy going on. We just want to try to win football games. So I just stopped talking to him for a while. My good friend and best friend Leroy Butler, he talked me into talking back to some of these guys.
Now, John, all week long, Mike Holmgren's been saying any NFL game shouldn't be favored by more than 3 points. Well, we're going to find out who could win the Packer game on Sunday. We're going to talk to Chris Jackie coming up tonight at 10.
All right, thanks, Rob. We'll look forward to hearing from you again then.
But golly gumbo, John, have we got some numbers for you tonight. Now, the average margin of victory in a New Orleans Super Bowl is 23 points. Now, the Packers are favored by 14. Mike Holmgren spent the past 2 weeks trying to convince everybody it's going to be a 3-point game. Now, that kind of puts place kicker Chris Jackie on the spot, and Holmgren spent the past couple of days making sure Jackie is well aware of that.
When he talks about the kicking game, he's talking about everybody, not just the kicker and the punter. He's talking about Desmond. He's talking about the coverage units. You know, we got a really good special teams. You know, and it goes. It just complements. We're complemented by very good offense and very good defense. So, you know, that's why I think we're favored by 14. Is that every phase of our game is very strong. So we just got to go out there and execute, and let our athletic ability take over.
Now, in other Packer news today, quarterback Brett Favre keeps piling up the awards. Favre is named the Miller Lite NFL Player of the Year at an awards ceremony at the New Orleans Hyatt Regency. Favre was chosen over John Elway, Drew Bledsoe, Jerome Bettis, and Bruce Smith. And along with the hardware, Favre receives a check for $25,000, which will be donated to his charity, the Brett Favre Foundation. So the AP NFL Player of the Year, he won the Foot Action Player of the Year, the British Sports Writers named him Quarterback of the Year. I guess Irvin Bonita are going to have to build another treasure chest over in Kiln for all of his awards. John?
All right, thanks, Rob. And our own Craig Kashan and Rob Hudson live from New Orleans. Guys, take it away.
All right, Fish, thanks very much. You know, it's time to start putting on those game faces.
I got mine on.
I
got mine on. I'm ready to go. I got the butterflies.
You know, Rob, the Packers have won 11 world championships, more than any other in NFL history, and they've waited 29 years, but finally have a chance to go after number 12.
I tell you what, there are a lot of Packer players and coaches who deserve a Super Bowl ring, and almost every fan has their favorite player they'll root extra hard for tomorrow. Like, how about quarterback Brett Favre? The kid's almost single-handedly led the Packers to the mountaintop, but if you want to get sentimental, it's got to be aging veterans like Reggie White and Eugene Robinson. Both have worked too hard for too long to let this slip away.
And everybody's been in the time that they're supposed to be in, and it's been no problem at all. We let Mike know last week that whatever he tell us to do, you know, we'll do it without complaining, mainly because this is just 1 week out of our life. You know, we want to have fun. We can have fun, and we can go and win this game. We can have fun for a long time.
We're at the point where we got to play well. We know it. So when we're out there, man, we are hard on each other. I mean, we are hard on each other anyway as far as accountability. But hey, you got this. Get it. Hey, we can't let this. And it's a loose team, believe me or not. It's a real loose. We're like, don't let it slip.
Never had a loss for word Eugene Robinson, but I tell you what, it's been a long, hard road for both of these guys. Don't forget Sean Jones. Let's hope they don't let it slip away.
You got that, Rob. A couple other NFL notes before we say goodbye here. Reports here from NBC Sports and ESPN say Mike Ditka is going to be the new Saints coach. Stay tuned for that in the next couple of days. And congratulations to former Badger Mike Webster. He's been inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Spent many years with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's it from New Orleans. We'll see you back here live tomorrow night for Wisconsin Sports Sunday, our Packers Super Bowl special. Let's throw it back to Madison and an exciting Badger victory today, Fish.
Yeah, no question, Craig. Very exciting.
For the serious football fan, it's the Lambeau Field of theme parks. The NFL experience offers those who really, really love the game a chance to live out their fantasies of life in the National Football League.
The NFL experience!
The display is intended for kids of all ages. Compare hand size with Warren Moon or kick a field goal like Chris Jackie. Even our own Dan Callanan couldn't resist the urge to live out his childhood dream of being a long snapper. Hey, and when you're over here, check out the Wilson football exhibit. You can see how the old pigskin starts off like this and finishes like this. You're darn tootin' I know how to make a football, Margie. And the NFL experience isn't over yet. You come next door to this giant airplane hangar-like building, and you've got the exhibition hall. You got trading cards, you've got memorabilia, fishing lures, the Brett Favre fan club right behind you. You never know who you'll find at the Brett Favre fan club. Look, it's former Packer Brian Noble. Can you tell? Is that Lambeau?
Which one? That's Denver.
That's Denver?
That's Denver.
He promotes himself, I mean, by the way he plays on the field. So it's pretty much just making the information and the materials available to the public, and he takes care of the rest.
The fan club has been a lot of fun. You know, we do a newsletter and we do all that stuff. And it's actually been pretty neat to do something a little different than just play football and answer questions and go here and sign autographs and do that. I wish I could go over and actually see the booth, but you know that'd be a little crazy.
Rob Hudson, no rest for him. There might be for the Packers a little bit, but certainly no rest for Rob. The NFL experience was the key at the convention center today.
Craig, I tell you what, if there's one thing I've learned here in New Orleans for Super Bowl week, for 7 days and 7 nights, you do nothing but eat, sleep, and drink football, which is okay.
That's all right.
Not bad,
Yeah.
but I tell you what, for someone that can't find enough of it, I found just the place. For the serious football fan, it's the Lambeau Field of theme parks. The NFL experience offers those who really, really love the game a chance to live out their fantasies of life in the National Football League.
The NFL experience!
The display is intended for kids of all ages. Compare hand size with Warren Moon or kick a field goal like Chris Jackie. Even our own Dan Callanan couldn't resist the urge to live out his childhood dream of being a long snapper. Hey, and when you're over here, check out the Wilson football exhibit. You can see how the old pigskin starts off like this, finishes like this. You're darn tootin' I know how to make a football, Margie. And the NFL experience isn't over yet. You come next door to this giant airplane hangar-like building, and you've got the exhibition hall. You got trading cards, you've got memorabilia, fishing lures, the Brett Favre fan club right behind you. You never know who you'll find at the Brett Favre fan club. Look, it's former Packer Brian Noble. Can you tell? Is that Lambeau?
That's Denver.
That's Denver?
That's Denver.
He promotes himself, I mean, the way he plays on the field. So it's pretty much just making the information and the materials available to the public, and he takes care of the rest.
The fan club has been a lot of fun. You know, we do a newsletter and we do all that stuff. It's actually been pretty neat to do something a little different than just play football and answer questions and go here and sign autographs and do that. I wish I could go over and actually see the booth, but you know that'd be a little crazy.
You're darn tootin' it would be a little crazy. Can you imagine Favre showing up down there with all those crazy football fans?
That's not what the fan club's all about.
I tell you what the fan club is all about is getting new members. Right now they've got 800, and Greg Obby says by the end of the Super Bowl week, they're hoping to get 200 more. I don't think they'll have a problem. Here's the latest issue of the newsletter. If you want to get a hold of these guys in Madison, the number is 246-4222. We've had some calls back at the station. There you go.
Okay, Rob, thanks. Nice job again.
You bet.
Okie doke. Let's move on now and get to Big Ten basketball. The top two teams.
Good evening from New Orleans. For the first time in over a month, the Packers won't have Mother Nature on their side this Sunday, and whether or not the controlled climate inside the Superdome will be a factor has yet to be seen. One thing is for certain, if the Packers hope to pull out a win against the Patriots, that two-headed running attack that led them through the playoffs will have to be effective for a win in Super Bowl 31. You know, every year for the Super Bowl, Media Day is the single craziest event leading up to the big game. Media from all over the world converge on the stadium to talk to the players. Now, for a lot of media types, this is an easy thing because they've done it before. But for me, I'm green. I'm wet behind the ears. I'm a rookie. I need some help, so I went out in search of some advice.
Push your way in. Just battle your way forward. No, I'm only kidding.
Don't turn your back. Always keep an eye out because you're going to get hit in the back of the head with a camera.
How about some survival tips for the rookie?
Well, it is one of the most degrading experiences. You know, the players, I mean, I think part of them like it, a lot of them don't, and you have to say to yourself, I'm not going to take it personally when 90% of them reject me.
Pick out a guy who not many people are talking to and talk to him, because the others you're all going to read in the papers anyway. It's all going to be printed up for you. So talk to some guy who needs company. He'll be grateful.
Well, that's the advice I was looking for. With a confident swagger and a spring in my step, I set out on the masses, attacking and slashing my way like a Dorsey Levens of the media blitz. And after a gain of 20 yards or so, I finally found my target.
A lot of the guys, the younger guys, you see us over here, we sit in chairs and read newspapers, you know, so, but it's, you know, it's exciting. You know, these guys have been in the league a long time. I'm happy for them. You know, they deserve to be in front of the spotlight, in the spotlight.
But as lonely as the rookies may be, at least they're out of harm's way, which at times on Media Day was a whole lot more than I could say.
Look, man, I didn't mean to hit you in the back of the head with my mic. I'm sorry. But I needed to get the interview with Brett Favre. What do you mean? That's how you do it.
From New Orleans, Rob Hudson, 15 Sports at 6.
Sunday's game.
And the lucky ones are headed to San Diego, and that's where our Rob Hudson is. He joins us live by the water in San Diego. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, just sitting by the dock of the bay down here in San Diego. Wish you were here. Wonderful.
I know.
Is it snowing up there, you guys?
Not yet, but it's on its way.
Okay. Well, you know, talking about the weather, you know, this El Nino thing seems to be the buzzword this winter. And of course, today was Media Day. Well, how do you equate the two? How do you mix them together to make sense? I don't know. I gave it a shot because at Media Day, every question is asked of these players. Unbelievable. I know Travis Jervey, someone asked him if he was a car, what kind of car he'd be. Well, I thought, well, this El Nino thing, maybe, how will that affect the Super Bowl? All right, here's Travis Jervey's chance to be the weather guy. Travis Jervey is going to tell us what El Nino is.
Okay, what El Nino is you've got...
What kind of effect will El Nino have on the outcome?
I know exactly what it is. Okay. It's off South America is the problem.
To me, El Nino, I haven't even thought about it. All I think I've heard is changing the temperature. I mean, I've really sat down and read in the articles to see what El Nino actually is. So enlighten me and tell me what El Nino is. I'm sure you know.
So that's nutrient-rich water because it's been flowed through and it's got, and the cooler water, the fish need cooler water, small fish.
What effect will El Nino have on the game?
I hope none. I have no answer for that question right at this moment. I don't.
And if the small fish have cooler water, that's a whole different story. But
Travis Jervey, he went to the Citadel. He actually explained this thing for like 20 minutes. We would have liked to air the whole thing, but obviously didn't have time. But we're going to check out the press conferences tomorrow mornings, get a little more serious. Tonight, we're going to hit the town, find some Packer fans, and look forward to sharing it with you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Rob. That was a big fish story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big fish story.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks,
You
Rob.
bet.
We warmer there with temperatures, I believe, in the 70s. So, of course, our Rob Hudson is loving it. How's the beach, man?
Hey, dude, hanging loose, chilling. Yeah, I'm here with a Packer surfer dude, man. His name's Joe Silverman. Joe, thanks for taking time to join us here. It's beautiful down here, you guys. Joe, give us some surfer tips, man. Like, you got a green board, dude. You got to be a big Packer fan.
Well, you know, it pretty much sums it up. I'm a Packer backer. I mean, you know, the green is I'm going for Green Bay. It's pretty much a done deal, I think. They're probably going to win. That's just all there is to it.
All right, talk about these waves here, man. You called them tasty waves, dude. They're big. Is it because of El Nino? If you guys can see these waves behind us, Joe's going to go out and try and ride these things. They're like 10-foot breaks, man.
Well, I mean, they're not quite that big, and I mean, they're usually better in the morning when it's cleaner. Right now, the onshore wind is picking up, which means that it's kind of blowing them down, and you don't get as much face on a ride because it just blows the peaks down. They're still pretty good size-wise. You know, we would say here in California they're about 4 to 6 maybe. Some of the bigger sets might be 8. And I'm just going to try to get a session in before it gets dark.
You going to let me get on this bad boy? I see you got it all waxed up. What kind of wax do you use?
Just plain old base coat, and on top of that we put right now I have warm water wax. Usually this time of year you got to switch to cool water, but it's 64 degrees out in the ocean. That's kind of warmer than it is on land. So
yeah, perfect, man. Hey, Joe Silverman, surfer dude, Packer fan too. You want to say anyone back to Wisconsin? Hang loose.
Hang loose, but I'm afraid I don't know anybody in Wisconsin. However, if there's any females out there that want to come to San Diego,
all right, Joe. All right, Joe. It's a family show. Good luck shooting the crow, man.
Right.
Hey, we're in beautiful San Diego, if you couldn't tell. And yesterday in San Diego, the first time in 7 years, we were paid a visit by the Queen Elizabeth II. Big storm creating these big waves brought the QE2 into port in San Diego. The ship is huge. They stayed overnight for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours before heading out to Hawaii. So, yeah, beautiful tropical weather out here. Packers had another press conference this morning. We'll get more to you coming up later at 6. Gotta go. Hang 10, dudes.
I want to see you body surf before you leave San Diego.
Man, I'm not safe out of the bathtub. I'm not going in there.
All right, we'll talk to you later. Hang loose there, Rob.
All right.
Dude.
And while the Packers may be pumped up for their second
Win this week, our Rob Hudson joins us now with something else the city has to offer. Rob?
Well, are you insinuating that I'm the main attraction this week?
It could be.
The
Don't
Super
flatter me,
Bowl.
Diane.
Please,
Hey,
it's the
Mike.
Super Bowl.
Mike, remember these?
I should get my
Yeah.
credentials.
I bet you still have yours, don't you?
I can go get one right now.
And you know what? I learned a new word tonight, maritime, and I'm going to use it. It's time for a maritime lesson. See the ship behind me here?
Yeah.
It's the Star of India. It's the oldest floating merchant ship in the world. Guess when it was built?
I don't know, Rob.
Take a guess, Mike. Come on, work with me.
18 something.
1863.
I was going to say that.
tad bit older than you. Moving right along. Hey, remember Bourbon Street last year was fun, where everyone goes when they come to town. They've got a place here called the Gas Lamp Quarter because they use gas lamps to light the place. Fan place, wonderful restaurants, as we found out tonight.